Hello and welcome to this special live stream tonight in remembrance of two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Busch. Of course, as we all know, it's been over 24 hours since this actually happened. We unfortunately lost Kyle last night, so I am still in disbelief. I'm still in shock, and I still don't have many words for just yeah. It doesn't feel real at all. So I don't usually do these kind of streams. Like I basically now what my live streams, I guess you could call them, are kind of as or kind of God, I can't talk tonight. Sorry, I was just looking at something. Anyways, so basically what my streams now kind of are relate to is just all FedEx at this point, all the FedEx broadcasts and whatnot. Um, I don't ever do these kind of streams, but this is obviously a different case. And today we're going to be talking about just some of our favorite moments and just remembering the great Rowdy Busch. I actually will also be able to in a interaction with the stream. My goodness, I'm sorry. I'll also be able to interact with the chat tonight. Um, so that's going to be a little bit of a new thing. I usually don't obviously do that for FedEx. But make sure to put, I already put this as a pins comment thing. Make sure to put your favorite moments of Kyle Busch's career in the comments down below. Maybe, or in the chat, I should say. Maybe some unique ones. Obviously, some other stuff that happened on track. Maybe if you have like a personal moment. Maybe if you met Kyle before. Make sure to drop it in the chat. I'll try to get to everything, and also try to get to some of my favorite moments as we remember the great Kyle Busch. Of course, just so tragic at 41 years old. I mean, my heart and all my thoughts and prayers go out to his family, Samantha Busch, his two kids, his parents, and of course Kurt Busch as well, and everyone, all of his friends, everyone involved in the NASCAR community, or in and around NASCAR at RCR. Richard Childress, of course, Austin Dillon. Uh, Such a heartbreaking loss, and the thing is, I mean, this is the second time I feel like this kind of thing has happened now. Like it feels eerily similar to 2001, and we all know what happened then. So it's so sad, so tragic, and Kyle Busch, what a great man, what a great race car driver, what a great legacy he has left us. Anyways, I do want to get now, and first of all, into some of my personal favorite moments with Kyle Busch. So I've seen one Kyle Busch win in my life, in person, that is. I do wish I saw more, but I didn't really go to races up until 2019. That was my first ever NASCAR race I've ever attended. That was 2019 Dover that Kyle Larson actually won. But anyways, I saw his 2021 win at Pocono. I actually posted about this earlier. That was, of course, at Pocono Raceway. It was during the doubleheader weekend for 2021. It was the second race of the week on Sunday. It wasn't actually at the first race, and of course, Kyle Busch doing that in just being stuck in fourth gear still wins the race in Kyle Busch fashion. I mean, barely. I don't think he can even do a burnout at that point because he was stuck in fourth gear and couldn't get the revs low enough. So, yeah. Yeah, it was just a very impressive win. I think they like had some. I don't know what was going on. They had some bungee cord in there as well, like holding the shifter in place. It was crazy. So that was one of my personal favorite moments from Busch. Just of course in person. Kyle Busch also drew. I never actually met him, unfortunately, but Kyle Busch drove by me on a golf cart. Um, so that was interesting. That was, I think, Dover 2019, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Dover 2019 or Dover 21. I think it was 2019. Pretty sure. So that was pretty cool too. I saw him, Kyle Busch, up close. That was the closest I've ever gotten to him. I also saw like a really crazy race he had in the Coke 600 when I was there in 2022. That's actually the picture that you're seeing right now in the thumbnail as well. Um, yeah, that was wild. I mean, I remember him spinning out in lap one. Ultimately finished second behind Denny Hamlin. So, and unfortunately, that was his last year with Joe Gibbs Racing. I think he is going to be more remembered for the 18 car for obvious reasons. No offense to RCR, but he only was there for what 3.5 seasons, I guess. Anyways, I do want to get to some of your guys' stuff that's in the chat. I know a lot of that is poured in. I'm going to start from the very beginning. Favorite moment 2018, sorry, Chicagoland. Obviously, slide job moment with Kyle Larson. Who could forget that? So insane. We were actually at Chicagoland last night for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race. It was, of course, the Kyle Busch tribute race. Unfortunately, we also had the race during the same day Greg Biffle passed away earlier this season at Richmond. So it's been two tough Cup Series races right there. So, yeah. But anyways, that was such a great moment. Kyle Busch getting the win there at Chicagoland. Everyone was booing him in the crowd, and I'm sure most of those people today would cheer. Yeah, obviously gone too soon. I mean, you talk about gone too soon, man. Ugh. 2019 championship. Now that is an interesting one for me. Obviously, most of you probably do know I'm a Martin Truex Jr. fan. That's pretty well documented. I've been a Truex fan for many years now. That 2019 championship, Truex is probably going to win it until his just amazing pit crew decided, you know what, we're going to switch the tires around, put them on the wrong side, and he had to pit for a second time. Still rallied to finish second in the race and, of course, in the championship, but wasn't enough to beat Kyle Busch, who, of course, won his second NASCAR Cup Series championship that season. Truex had 7 wins that year. I think Busch had 6, including Miami. But that was kind of the last moment for Kyle Busch before his dominance started to fade away. Of course, it's also well documented back in 2020. That's kind of when the Kyle Busch era started to come to a close with his dominance. He just killed everyone in the 2010s. That was brutal for the rest of the field. Remember when he won, swept an entire weekend in Bristol. Did it, I think, somewhere else as well. Was it Charlotte? It was somewhere. I don't really know. Someone tell me in the chat. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm looking for some more of this stuff. 2019 or 2015, sorry, championship. Obviously, that's an iconic one. Kyle Busch breaking his leg and coming back to win the championship. So insane. I think what did he miss, like 12 races? Absolutely unbelievable stuff. And by the way, this is going to be the first weekend of the first NASCAR Cup Series race without a Busch in it since 2015 at Las Vegas. Because Kyle Busch was, of course, injured and Kurt Busch was suspended. So it's been over 10 years. He actually swept Bristol twice in the 2010s. Man, he was so good at Bristol in the Gen 6 car. Just absolutely insane. I mean, I remember back in 2019 he wrecked and then still came back to win the race. I remember doing the reason I remember this so well is I remember doing the NASCAR Heat 4 challenges, and I think like one of them was that where you had to drive through the field again in the wrecked Kyle Busch car, and then you would unlock his race version for that race. I remember that. That was good times. um, Again, yeah, it still does not feel real at all. 2013 California Fontana. That's that's an interesting one. I mean, I wouldn't say that's a great moment for me due to Denny Hamlin's injury in that race. But obviously it was an impressive win by Busch, driving around Logano and Hamlin, and both of them, of course, wrecked after that. And Kyle Busch went on to victory. He had a lot of crazy moments at Fontana. Got his 200th overall win there as well in 2019 with Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. Back there, I think it was one of the Xfinity races like 2015, 2016 that he blew a tire and then nearly won the race because people were running out of fuel ahead of him. Literally was on a blown tire for the entire final lap. Got beat by Austin Dillon, his future teammate, in the closing, like literally the last corner coming down the front straightaway to the checkered flag there. That was insane as well. Kyle Busch flipping off the NASCAR officials in 2010 at Texas. Yeah, that was good old Kyle Busch. Of course, that was during I think it was Ron Hornaday. He wrecked at Texas in the Truck Series race. Man, that was peak Kyle Busch hate right there. That was, whew, he was not a very popular driver then. Kyle Busch's funny interview moments. Of course, that happens all throughout his career. I feel like it kind of started in like the mid 2010s actually, and Never really stopped after that. Remember back to his Phoenix interview from like 2017. Everything's great. Um, yeah, he's had so many funny interview moments, so many funny media center moments. I think Charlotte, like 2017 or 2018 as well. Remember him throwing down the mic. Um, it was like, I'm not surprised about anything. Congratulations or something like that. It was really funny. Looking a little bit more. Here's some personal moments. You saw him win Chase Briscoe Fan 19. You saw him win an Indy in 2013. That was, of course, in the Nationwide Series in the 54 car. Wasn't that with KBM? Actually, didn't KBM have their own Nationwide team for like a year or two? I remember that. Yeah, that's interesting. So Kyle Busch went at Texas in person twice. I mean, he was really good at Texas. Uh, he must have an instant. I forget what the exact number is, like the amount of wins he has at Texas between Cup, Xfinity, and trucks. I actually want to look real quick. Give me a second. I don't know exactly if it's gonna tell me. Well, this is AI driven, so I'm not exactly sure if it's 100% accurate. Because every time I look something up, it immediately just pulls that up. But apparently, I think this is accurate. 20 races. That's kind of sounds right. 20 races between Cup, Xfinity, and Trucks winning at Texas. That's unbelievable. I mean, even the race tonight that was supposed to happen, that's now postponed till 8 a.m. tomorrow. In the NASCAR Truck Series is he of course won 8 races at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Truck Series. What's my favorite diecast of Kyle Busch that I have? I have a lot, and I do mean a lot of Kyle Busch diecast. Probably the second most of any NASCAR driver, just behind Martin Truex Jr. I actually don't think I have many 124s though. I got a ton of 164s. What's my favorite? I don't have them all in front of me right now, so that's hard. Oh wait, I really do like his 2019 championship car with all the green confetti on that. I actually have that. I'm very happy I have that. And I also have his 2020 car that he ran at the Clash. It was kind of obviously an iconic race. The Busch Crash, kind of the killer of the Daytona Oval Clash as well. That's when he had the M&Ms holding his 2019 championship trophy. That was pretty cool as well. I got that diecast. His next gen paint schemes were pretty good as well, I feel like. Um, I really wish we got more than 1 year of the M&M's next gen. That would have been nice. Yeah, of course. Man, what a driver! Just what an incredible driver! What an incredible person Kyle Busch was. So sad that he's gone. It really is. The sport will never be the same. We have truly, if you're around my age, I'm 17. Like 17, I guess to like 20, early 20s. Um, he was kind of like our Dale Earnhardt of our generation. He really was. I don't want to hear any of that Carson Hocevar stuff. No offense to Hocevar, but I don't think he should be considered as a Dale Earnhardt kind of a comparison. That is. I do think Kyle Busch should be the one that's compared to Dale Earnhardt. Anyway, I don't think anyone can replace Dale. I'm not saying anyone can, but for if we were going to compare someone, I think Kyle Busch is the guy. And he really was our generation's Dale Earnhardt. And I feel like this is exactly what fans felt back in 2001, which is just so. Man, I didn't think I'd ever have to experience this. I really didn't. I truly didn't think I had to experience this. I'm still in shock, still in disbelief. But I am really happy that last night we were able to pay tribute to Busch in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. We had like 4 or 5 Kyle Busch throwbacks in that race. We had a 4 wide salute at the beginning in the pace laps before the race got underway. That was nice. Um. Oh yeah, that fight with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Almost forgot about that. That was really funny. I mean, we got two incredible pictures from that. We got the Bob Pocker's profile picture where he's making that face when he's caught up in their fight, and we also got the Kyle Busch like behind his head, staring at Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who's just standing there. That was a great night. That was really funny. But yeah. 2023 Fontana. Yeah, that was his third to last win. 2023, man, he was on a run, especially during the Fox races. Like he won 3 races in the first like 12 or 13. That was Kyle Busch. We all thought was back. We also thought RCR was back as well. Clearly, unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It only lasted half a year. Yeah, I had Emmett on the radio. I think that was from the 2019 duels of all things. When he said that, I think he got spun out. If I'm not mistaken. Man, I just I'm saying all this, and I truly do feel like he's still here, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Man. All right. Um, sorry about that. Kyle Busch dumping Chase Elliott in 2020. Yeah, that was a. I'm gonna be honest. That was on Kyle Busch's side, obviously, for that. Uh. So we're gonna have somebody joining us, a special guest, in just a couple of moments. To give us maybe some of his favorite Kyle Busch moments as we continue to remember him. What a great man! What a great man Kyle Busch was. What a great race car driver he was as well. For over 20 years, he raced in NASCAR and gave us so many unforgettable moments. The winningest driver combined in NASCAR history just won his last race a week ago. And the thing is, the crazy coincidence he said there in his Dover win in the Truck Series last week is he said, "You never know when it's going to be your last," and well, that was his last. So he was right. So tragic, man. It really, truly is. I mean, he's just not a guy like that you think you could ever like. He just felt invincible. Like there's just some guys, and he was one of them. Like I truly thought he was gonna race forever. I know he wasn't unfortunately, very successful towards the later stages of his career, mostly due to RCR. But he's just a guy that you just felt like was invincible. Didn't ever think he would leave the sport. I mean, I truly do believe if once he retired, he would have actually ran another full-time Truck Series season, like I think he planned on doing, and probably would have won a truck title to complete the triple title sweep of everything in NASCAR. Oh yeah, Kyle Busch, classic hitting the pace car. In 2018 for the Brickyard, he obviously did it as a joke to Dale Jr. because he was driving the pace car. 2021 New Hampshire wasn't really a joke. He, of course, wrecked after NASCAR didn't throw the caution for rain. I still hate NASCAR for that one because 3 Gibbs cars wrecked out. We should have won that race. We really should have. Christopher Bell still ended up finishing in second. That's how damn good we were in that race, running one, two, three. Man, that's annoying. Eric Almirola still won, which is kind of cool though, so I can't complain too much. Um, but yeah, of course, me being a Joe Gibbs Racing fan and Kyle Busch, of course, being on my favorite team for so long, I really did grow a big liking for him. Obviously, he was one of my favorite drivers. He still is one of my more favorite drivers in NASCAR. All right, so we're just waiting on our special guest here to get in here in a minute. as we continue to talk about the great rowdy Kyle Busch. Let me look at here. Kyle Busch winning 2016 at Martinsville. Are you sure it was 2016? I know he won 2017. That was that crazy finish with Hamlin, and it was the race he wrecked Elliott. I know he won that. I thought it was Hamlin and someone else that won 2016. I know Jeff Gordon, he won 2015, the fall race. Or was Denny in 2015, the spring? I don't really know. 2023 at Dega. Yeah, of course, that's his second to last ever win. That was his first win at Talladega since 2008, maybe? Something like that. Obviously, a very long time. Oh, yeah, Kyle Busch wrecking Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the chase race at Richmond in 2008. Yeah, obviously for him, that was not very good because he quite literally needed security to leave the racetrack. So, yeah. Safe to say, Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans weren't too pleased. I mean, I'm just looking at this chat. There's just so many moments, so many unique moments coming in here. Of course, I also have another moment here. Kyle was driving backwards. It seemed like he did that every year. He did it at Charlotte once. Did he do it last week? Wait, am I wrong? Did he actually do it last week? Does anyone know officially? I swear to God, I thought I saw something him doing at Dover. I'm sure Fox didn't catch it because they're Fox, but I swear to God, I thought he did it at Dover last week. Did he? I don't know. He's done it many other times before that at other racetracks, but I swear to God, he did it at Dover. I don't know if I'm wrong or not. Someone fact check me. Did it at Bristol as well in the next gen era. But anyways, our special guest is taking a moment to arrive. He's very slow. Just yeah, our special guest being very slow to arrive to the tribute stream here, kind of just like he is on the racetrack. Oh, there he is. Hope we didn't hear that.
What?
All right, nothing. Hello, hello,
I
Eli.
can't be here for too long. I got a graduation. My family's
Oh,
over, so probably about 10 minutes.
all right. That's okay. Well, so we'll get the start here. Obviously, this is a Kyle Busch tribute stream remembering the great Rowdy. So, Eli, do you want to give us any of your favorite moments over Kyle Busch's career? Maybe some personal ones if you've ever been
Ooh.
into a race, seeing him. Just anything. Just throw out anything.
My favorite honestly was the Chicagoland. I watched that live, and I was on vacation. My whole family watched it. They don't really watch NASCAR. That was probably the greatest race I've watched. Was the Chicagoland where he dumped Kyle Larson to win. It was really like dump. It was clean enough, but that was a great. That's what I meant with Kyle.
Yeah, that was an insane one as well. Of course, welcome Eli Franklin to the stream, driver of the number 24 in the NASCAR Racing FedEx Grand National Series for Ethan Trendler Racing. And then he also drives some part time in the Cup Series as well. He's gotten some pretty good results lately. Still looking for that first win. You're one down on Landon Johnson.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, he did finish second. So I mean, in all technicality, I technically won that race.
Oh, yeah, sure. Anyways, looking through the chat real quick. Oh, Kyle Busch fighting with Joey Logano in 2017 in Las Vegas.
That's
Um,
a good one.
yeah, that is a good one. Of course, yeah, there's contact there on the final lap. That was a great race for me. Truex won. Of course, that was his first win of his championship season. 8 wins in 2017. So that was certainly interesting. Let's see. Oh yeah, Kurt Busch. Yeah. Good lord. Kurt Busch versus Kyle Busch in 2019 at Kentucky. That was also a great one. Um,
I watched that race too. I enjoyed that one. It had the late race restart. I think it went to overtime, did it not?
yeah, I think it did. I remember it was like Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Logano was up there as well. Um, obviously the 550 package that was not great,
Yeah.
but it still kind of put on a great show at the end.
Oh, when you guys, I don't know if I'm looking through just moments, and I don't know if you saw when he won his first COT, he said his car was terrible after winning.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw that. Classic Kyle Busch. You win the race, but still, car sucks.
I do, and one other that I do remember. I don't know if you remember. I think it was Pocono. I don't know if it was Gen 6 or Gen 7. It might have been the last year Gen 6, might have been first year Gen 7. Pocono, when he was stuck in I think it was fourth or fifth gear, he was stuck and somehow won the race.
Oh yeah, I was at that race. It was 2021. We already talked about that. So I actually didn't know he was stuck in fourth gear, so I was pretty confused when he won. He didn't do a burnout.
Yeah, he was stuck in fourth gear the whole
Yeah, I
race.
know.
Well, that whole final stretch, and since he was stuck in fourth, he had to save. Either way, everyone had to save fuel, and he saved enough because he couldn't shift.
Wasn't that also the race he was singing in the car too? I think it was.
I think so.
Yeah, great times there. Um, let's see. Obviously, St. Louis in 2023, another one here in the chat. His final career NASCAR Cup Series win. I mean, it is kind of sad that his final win. We're coming up on 3 years ago. That is, man, that's really really sad. Um, yeah, of course, him winning the final ever Fontana race should have never torn down that racetrack. Of course, they had to put up an Amazon warehouse for no reason. Why don't we tear down the Amazon warehouse? That's a good idea.
Yeah, I will say one thing. Maybe not Kyle Busch wise, but Richard Church. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you saw it. Richard Church came out and said the eight car will not be used until his son comes through. That's the only way the eight car will be driven again for him. I feel like that's probably gonna be the same for Joe Gibbs. He might not
Yeah.
publicly say it, but I don't think he'll let anyone do the 18 unless his son comes through.
Well, yeah.
But I think it's weird that they didn't do that for Dale Earnhardt. I know the three's still around, but if you're going to do it for Kyle, they should have done it for Dale. I just feel like that didn't make sense to me when I saw that.
Well, the thing is, they were supposed to. Like Richard Childress back in 2001 said, nobody's ever going to run the three car ever again. Then obviously Austin Dillon came around and those rules changed. So
Yeah, I don't think you ever see 18 or 8 unless it's his son doing it.
yeah.
There's
Well,
no way.
the only
Oh,
thing
I
is,
was hope the only thing I hope for is Kurt
yeah.
wants one race in the 8 or 18.
The only thing is, for the 18, I don't know if he would. So like it still gets ran in Xfinity to today with Gibbs. So
Well, Xfinity, I mean, it's different in Cup, I think.
I guess yeah.
Xfinity in Cup, I think it makes sense to never run to 18 again unless it's the son of Kurt. I feel like I don't know if Kurt's medically retired so he can't physically race, but if he's not, I have a feeling he would
Well,
do one
no.
race.
Yeah, but he does actually do some racing here and there. He just did the IROC race. He won.
That's true.
So he still can race. So I don't know if he's cleared to
I mean,
race in the
I
Cup
doesn't have to
Series.
finish well, but he can. Or what they could do, I don't know, is they take Kurt and put him in the 18 car, like Diego Joe gives him trying to make one of his M&M paint schemes, and he leads the pace lap.
That would be cool. Yeah, kind of like what Childress did with the three car. I think it was like 20
Yeah,
or at Atlanta with Harvick.
yeah.
That was cool. Anyways, or no, it was the 29 car. I'm sorry. Um, but what was I about to say?
Oh,
Uh,
one other one I really enjoyed was when he said everything's great. Can't wait to get back on the track for every single question of the interview.
yeah, I mean nobody else would even think about that other than Kyle Busch. Like I can't name a single driver that would do that other than him. That was very funny. It's certainly been a tough first full day without Kyle Busch. It really has been.
Oh, trust me, I've been not gonna lie. Before I left, I started breaking down because of just thinking about he's actually gone. Broke down for about half an hour, just realizing he's gone.
Yeah, it has been certainly not fun, but we're gonna try to get through this together. He's looking down on us right now.
Yeah, uh, I just I feel like how old is his son? Is he what 15,
11.
16? Was he younger?
No, he's 11.
11? I thought he was
Yeah.
older. Like one. Well, I was gonna say soon he might give him a call. That's what you can't race till you're 18, right? For the Cup Series.
Uh,
So I know
well,
I know Brake
can
Cruz raced at 17, but he
yeah, I
couldn't do super
know.
speed racing. All that.
Can you? I don't know if you can do Cup Series
He
like
can do trucks or
entirely.
something.
Yeah, well, he can do Arc at like 15.
Yeah, he'll definitely wherever he's eligible. It's not like I have a feeling some people are going to say he's only racing because of the last name Bush, but I feel like he'll definitely have the speed and pace to do it just because one, his dad, and two, his dad did a great job of building him up. I know it's still got a little bit of way to go to actually go full time, but how much Kyle has helped him so far in racing, I feel like Kurt will hopefully help him out the rest of the way.
I selfishly hope he goes to Gibbs. To be honest, I honestly don't think that's gonna happen at this point because that's not the current team they're involved with.
No, I have a weird feeling he would go to the A card, but no one people remember Kyle for probably the next 5 or so years at the 8 and 18. I feel like after that, they'll remember him just for the 18.
Another question is like, how do we think like how much more competitive do we think Kyle Busch would have been if he stayed at Gibbs, especially these days when Joe Gibbs Racing, whew, their cars are just unreal.
Yeah, I have a feeling maybe not a championship, just because of how wild it's been. Like we've seen Denny Hamlin been so dominant, just bad luck. Because remember, it's the old format. It's real. You got to get a lot of luck to win that. But I feel like he'll at least won probably 3 races a year. So what is it? He's been in the eight for what 3 years?
Yeah,
So I think he'll won probably 12 to 15 races.
I mean he definitely would have been in the 70s, that's for sure. He probably would have taken some wins away from Hamlin. I really do wish he never left. I really do. I would. No offense to Chase Briscoe, but my ideal lineup would have still been Hamlin, Busch. Well, Truex. Okay, I actually have to put Truex in here, and then Bell. Sorry, Ty Gibbs. Uh, that was the best
Yeah, a little
Dreams
too
Racing
young.
lineup ever, for me at least. But yeah.
Have you
So
heard the 911 call already?
I did. We're not gonna get really too into that because I don't really want to talk about that right now
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
blame
stream,
you, but
especially.
I've just that's just sad to hear.
But yeah, you of course said it right there in the chat. Um, three drivers in the last, not just three. Actually, we're not even counting one of the. I think we also all lost an ARCA driver, and of course Denny Hamlin's father, Dennis Hamlin. Other than that, and since December, we have lost Michael Annett, Greg Biffle, and now Kyle Busch. It's wow, it's so crazy.
Yeah, I saw Danny Hamlin's tweet. He said this is, we lost the NBA's Kobe Bryant, and I think that's a great comparison in terms of what because I watched um Pat McAfee show, and they compare. I gotta remember the name. They compared Kyle Busch to someone and matched perfectly for NBA terms. Oh no, it was NFL. They compared Kyle Busch to Aaron Rodgers, and I thought that was a really good comparison, just because they're like cocky, just and they if on the final 5 laps of a 2 minute drive in the prime, he won. They won Aaron Rodgers and he won Kyle Busch, and they kind of lined up perfectly between the two, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see it. Um, but Kyle Busch is definitely a very unique person,
Very.
for sure. There will never be another Rowdy. And yeah. Well, of course, We love you, Kyle Busch. Thank you for everything. It has truly been an honor to, of course, be a fan watching him. I've, of course, seen him race in real life. I was really looking forward to seeing him race at Pocono and possibly even being able to maybe even see him up close and maybe even meet him, talk to him for a second at Pocono. Uh, and unfortunately, we lost him. But anyways, again, praying for his family. Make sure to pray for his family, everyone involved, his friends, everyone involved in the NASCAR community, RCR, Richard Childress, in this very, very difficult time. So that will just about do it for tonight's live stream. I know this is kind of a rare non-FedEx related live stream, but I feel like we kind of had to do it, especially with the Truck Series race being postponed to tomorrow at 8 a.m. I mean, actually 8. That's kind of a nice tribute to Kyle Busch, but let's be realistic here for a minute. 8 in the morning? That's oof. For some people, I'm up by then, but for some people, I don't think they're gonna that the ratings for that race are gonna be pretty terrible. I feel like.
8 in the morning for
Yep,
oh wow, yeah.
I poor
That
West
ain't
Coast
gonna.
people. 5
Yeah,
a.m. Like,
that would be the worst viewership possible.
yeah,
8 in
that
the morning.
is.
Yeah, but half these drivers can fall asleep on the pace laps.
Yeah. Well, I hope it happens tomorrow if it doesn't rain. Like, I don't know if you saw Eli, but on one of the weather apps I had, the rain is supposed to go to 5 a.m. on Sunday.
Well, if they do that, then they might just. There's no way to move the Coke 600. They'll just move the other races around it. If it does, to where the trucks and Grand National get moved, they'll move the trucks till Sunday morning, and then
Yeah,
Grand National just move it to Monday.
I swear to God, we're not having a triple header NASCAR race day with the Indy 500 and Canadian Grand Prix there as well. That would be a little brutal.
Yeah, because then because remember when we had Texas move to what, Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then we I think one year it was during COVID. We had the Grand National got rained out. I think it was Pocono. They moved the Grand National race to after the Cup race, and but after the Cup race Sunday, it's gonna be like at least 10 o'clock, and no one's gonna want to race till 2 in the morning for
well,
Grand National.
the thing is, I know it wasn't actually the full race, but I was at Charlotte in 23 after the Coke 600 when Ryan Blaney won. They actually ran the rest of the Xfinity race after that, so they finished it up.
Yeah, one year they had might have been Circuit of the Americas. They had the Grand National race, and they were 2 laps short of halfway, and they waited 3 4 days. I think it was a Wednesday, and they just called it because it was obviously not going to call a race that's never happened, but they could get to where they got like 30 or 40%. They was calling.
I Something like that happened at Chicago too in 2023 for Xfinity. That was I think when Cole Custer won.
Oh, it was a Chicago street course. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Chicago.
No,
Yeah, it
no,
was
no.
Chicago street course. That's what it was.
Unfortunately, Kyle Busch will not be able to make his return to Chicagoland. That's really sad.
Yeah. Have they announced who's going to do the rest of the Cup Series in the 33 car? I know Austin Hill's doing it for a little bit, but there's no way he does the rest of the season.
Well, let's be honest here. It probably would have actually been Jesse Love, but RCR doesn't exactly like Jesse Love because he's been linked to other teams. Well, I don't actually know how that's gonna
Yeah.
work now because
I don't know why. I have a feeling Kurt's going to do one, and they'll just, I guess, alternate drivers. I don't know who would they put in, honestly.
uh,
I
it's
think
I don't know. It's like RCR doesn't really have a pipeline except
no,
for
they
their two
they
Xfinity
don't.
guys. Like you can take from Spire, I guess.
I mean, you could, but I wouldn't. I don't think they would take a full-time driver. Maybe I
No,
don't
I
know.
don't mean in the Cup
Because then we
Series.
had
I
because
mean,
what? Oh yeah, well, I mean, man, we had a Matt Kenseth happen. I don't think people expect Matt Kenseth to come back and he finished the rest of the season.
I feel like it's gonna be someone within RCR and Chevy though. I don't think it's gonna be like, well, no, I don't know. I don't know.
I was thinking maybe Ryan Newman if he wants to.
I don't think Ryan Newman exactly wants to be back.
No, yeah, but he did race Rick Ware last year at like the Southern 500. So when Cody Ware had his weather thing, then raced last bit of the season, he ran a couple races. So maybe not like I'm trying to think of people that because Matty D doesn't have a ride right now.
Oh yeah,
I doubt they want Matty D.
I don't really think so. He's never driven a next gen. They're probably gonna get someone that has good experience in the Gen 7.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. Coyle LaJoy is full time in trucks, so unless he wants to forfeit since he already lost his playoff eligibility because NASCAR denied it.
Um,
I don't know if you saw that.
yeah, I did.
Trying to think of other drivers that might do it.
I
I
do think
feel,
it's actually gonna be Austin Hill though. That's my most realistic option.
yeah, it could be. But is there any races this year to where they both go separate places? Like this is where nationals have to go to Portland, or they're not
Yeah,
doing that this year.
Portland. It's Portland, I think. And then I
I'm
don't.
trying. Oh no, but did Portland get replaced by the San Diego Street Course?
No, that was Chicago.
But I don't see it on the schedule for Grand National Portland, so
Really,
maybe
they get rid
not.
of Portland? Why do they always get rid of the best tracks?
So that'll be a toll on Austin Hill doing doubles every week on any driver really.
Yeah, Portland's not on there for some reason. That's annoying. Well, I don't know.
So I feel like who's going to place that car next year? Bowman's expiring contract. It could be Bowman. I think other drivers that
I don't
maybe
know. I
could Brent Cruz.
honestly for me, it's kind of too early to talk about that. I don't know. And I think for us tonight, that will just about do it. I know I said that like 10 minutes ago, but I think now that'll just about do it. Again, thoughts and prayers to his entire family. We love you, Kyle Busch. Thank you for everything, and Rowdy forever. We will see you next time. Rest in peace, Kyle Busch. All right.